MSUTV is on the air, bringing you the best student-produced educational, entertaining, and informative programming. Broadcasting out of Breckenridge Hall on the campus of Morehead State University, MSUTV is signing on.
Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of MSU Sports Circle, the defining voice in all things sports. I'm your host, Justin Neely, and joined with me as always are my fellow colleagues, Adrena Anderson and Matt Johnson. How y'all feeling today?
We're good.
Well, if there are no objections, I say we just dive right in. College football, the national championship game. What exactly can we expect?
Well, my main concern right here is with Notre Dame, their strength of schedule. The only teams that they really played that I can say was competition was Michigan in the USC game. If you look at their stats compared to Alabama's stats, Alabama's doubling them and everything. McCarron, he's only thrown 3 interceptions this season for 26 touchdowns, and he has 2,669 yards. So right there, the quarterback matchup, McCarron is overcoming their Golson over at Notre Dame.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you. They have not played a team like Alabama, but we're looking at a team that has been down for, I can't even remember. Like, they have been down for so long. Notre Dame's back. Brian Kelly's been there 3 years, and he's proved the nation, like, I can win at any school. I started off Cincinnati. I dominate the Big East my times there. Now I'm at Notre Dame. In season 3, I'm already in the national title. I'm not worrying about who we're playing. Let's get the game on and let's see who really is the best team in the nation.
I mean, obviously Notre Dame, they did go undefeated this season. That's not an easy thing to do. But like I said,
in regards to competition, I don't care if you're playing a Division III. A game is a game. You still have to come and compete regardless of who you are, because you can lose regardless of who you're playing.
I just don't see this team winning it. They haven't matched up with that SEC speed yet, that SEC power. I just don't see them coming in and winning it. Now, Alabama does have a lot of pressure on them. They did lose that game, and if them being in this game to me is pure luck, because everybody who was undefeated went and lost that next week. So I think that Alabama kind of lucked out and got into this game, and Alabama has a lot of pressure on them going into this game. Notre Dame is kind of flying under the radar when it comes to Alabama, and they don't have any pressure on them. I think that they'll go in and play with that we don't have anything to lose mentality, and I think that will give them a little bit of edge over Alabama and put the pressure on Bama.
I think we're looking more at like a offense versus defense. Nick Saban's more of a defensive specialist, while Brian Kelly's more of an offensive specialist. He showed that back in his Big East days, and he's showing it here at Notre Dame. And it's just going to be just the battle of, two sides of the ball, just seeing who can get it done in max.
Now, one thing a lot of people do talk about is this disparity among stats when you're comparing the two teams. As look at Lacey. He has 1,182 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns. When you look at Notre Dame's top rusher, he's, barely even breaking 800. He's not even at the 1,000-yard mark. When it's numbers such as this, it's very hard to root for the underdog, which leads me to ask you, what does Notre Dame have to do to win this game?
I say just get the critics out their head. Don't worry about you being the underdog. Yes, you are going to be underdog, and if I had to predict, I'm going to say probably 3-4 touchdowns underdog. But don't worry about what people are saying. Don't worry about what the fans are saying. Go out there and compete and let the people know we are the Irishmen and we can outbeat Alabama regardless if we're the underdog or not.
I think they're going to have to put a lot of pressure on the Alabama offense. Their defense is going to have to put some pressure on the offense. McCarron, he's not a spectacular quarterback. He can make errors, and I think that if they put the pressure on him, I think this team can come in and give Alabama a run for their money. I'm just not sold on them winning this game just yet.
So, hypothetically, does Notre Dame have a chance?
I don't think so, no.
I think they do.
You think they do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one thing is for certain is I feel that personally in this situation, Notre Dame has the chip on their shoulder they've played with a chip on their shoulder this entire season, and the fruits of their labor has clearly paid off. They're in the championship game. Alabama, I feel, will come out laxed. I mean, all of these players, all of these coaches have TVs, just like all of us do, and they're hearing this. You know, it's going to be, they'll be lucky to get a touchdown in on you, you know. But one thing is for certain, I really think Notre Dame's going to come in and the gloves will be off. But when we come back, we're going to be talking NFL. Keep it locked. We'll be right back with more MSU Sports Circle.
Hello, I'm Eric Thomas, Director of the Star Theater here at Morehead State University, and I'd like to invite you to come out and join us for some of the great programs we offer in the Star Theater. Our programs are both educational, with planetarium programs, and entertaining, with laser shows that feature artists such as Elton John all the way out to Metallica. So come join us at the Star Theater, located in the Space Science Center here on the campus of Morehead State University. And if you've got questions, go online to moreheadstate.edu/startheater.
Welcome back. It is now time to discuss NFL football. It's not crazy to think that this may be Mike Vick's last season as an Eagle. What's next for Michael Vick? What happens?
I think he really needs to focus on getting healthy. First of all, Michael Vick, as we've seen, he's a great quarterback, and since he's come back from his whole situation, his run-in with the law, he's been kind of iffy. And I think his main focus right now is he really needs to get healthy, and a team is going to be kind of hesitant to pick him up and bring him in if he's a high-paid quarterback, and a team isn't going to want to waste that money if they bring him in and he can't even get out on the field and play. His main focus right now is he needs to get healthy.
All right, Matt, what's next?
How about to piggyback off of Dre? I think the main thing is right now, just get healthy. I'm hearing speculations that maybe this might be the end of the road. We're looking at only season 3 with him. Why get rid of him so early when you paid him all this big time franchise caliber money to see him go out there and compete? I mean, let's just be honest. If you get rid of him now, what does this team hold?
I mean, the Eagles coaching staff said that they're very confident in the quarterback that they have now playing, Nick Foles. They said they're very confident in him, and they said they sat Michael Vick down and talked to him, and he's cheering him on, and he's very supportive of what they're doing. I think that Michael Vick, the Eagles' pass defense has been a little off whack this season, and I think right now that's where they're struggling really offensively, and I just think that they need somebody to come in and step up in that quarterback position. They've been struggling since they got rid of Donovan McNabb.
Donovan McNabb wasn't really that good as last year. So I remember Michael Vick was the reason why they got rid of him, because why? He came out of prison.
MVP season.
MVP season.
Mm-hmm. He did have an MVP season, which leads me to believe, honestly, it's very hard for me to think that this is Mike Vick's last season in an Eagles jersey, but it's very realistic that we can see this happen. You know, they've had a lot of expectations. They are a quote-unquote dream team, and they're not producing dream team-like results. Now, who are you looking at first? Your leader, especially when you came in and you set the bar yourself with an MVP season such as that. They gave you a better staff. They gave you a better defense. They're letting you do you, and yet you're not producing. One of the main things that has been stated is the fact that he can't stay healthy. I mean, it seems like this man has multiple concussions in seasons. And the last one, to be honest, he looked similar to a punch-drunk fighter. Like it looked like that. It looked like that wasn't
the case. Do we have to look into the more consideration offensive line?
Well, what the thing is their line doesn't complement his style of play. He creates on feet. They have a great pass block, or great rush block rather, not pass block. Well, when you got an option quarterback who creates with his feet, you need a pass block.
Well, that goes to say to me, maybe it's time for Mr. Andy Reid to pack his bags then.
But is it easier to put blame on Andy Reid or tell Vic to pack up and go? How many times have we seen this situation happen in
Regardless,
sports?
from a fan's perspective, the fan comes for the franchise player, which is Mike Vick, not for Andy Reid. He, regardless of his down years, he still is a name. He has built a name since his early years at the Falcons, or go all the way back to Virginia Tech. Regardless of how bad he's doing, he still has that name, and I think he will still filled the seats up, which he's still doing in Philadelphia.
So you feel like his job is secure?
I'm not saying it's secure, but me personally, if I was looking in it as owner, GM, whatever, I would think maybe it's time to get Andy Reid. It's been a long time since he's been there, and let's be honest, nothing's been done since you went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots years ago, which you should have won, but you didn't.
Well, I definitely think one thing is for certain, that Michael Vick, we wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors. When we return, we'll be discussing basketball. Keep it locked.
Do you wish there was somewhere you could go for all your university-related purchases? Did you know that there is? The University Bookstore, located on the first floor of ADUC, has all of your answers. They have school supplies, art supplies, university apparel, and of course, textbooks. Be sure to stop by and visit the University Bookstore today.
How does my Morehead State help me?
How does my Morehead State help me?
How does my Morehead State help me?
Email SkyDrive Blackboard references.
Calendars, maps, news, weather.
It helps me truly connect to my students in and out of class.
It provides me with a tool to succeed in academics and tennis.
Using my Morehead State helps me to stay productive and organized.
Welcome back. It's time to talk college basketball, and we can't talk college basketball this season without mentioning Duke. It seems like they're on a mission right now. Are they the real deal?
Duke to me is always the real deal. They're a very consistent team. You can always expect Duke to be a very good team out there every year. There's no surprise that Duke is 8-0 right now.
I piggyback on it goes to show what our record shows. We have already taken out 3 top 5 teams. U of L, Ohio State. I mean, this Duke team is something different about this team this year. I don't know if it's because we lost a big-time player we had last year, Austin Rivers, and we're more of a team-oriented player. But Mason Plumlee is just looking like a beast. Like, right now, hands down, player of the year right now in college basketball. No questions asked.
Okay, so is it safe to say that discipline is the key to their success?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, you're always going to see Duke as a disciplined team, but this year is just more of a, sharing team. Like Quinn Cook, for example. He came in high expectations. Last year really never got in the groove. He was very out of shape because of injuries. And you had, like I said, Austin Rivers. It was very selfish, didn't get nobody involved, which we all know. There's a team-oriented type of system at Duke that they run. And it's something special about him. Steph Curry, he's healthy now. Well, he's hurt again, but when he was healthy last week, when he played in the Bahamas, this looked phenomenal. Ryan Kelly, big man, looks just phenomenal. This team really is the real deal, and they could have an argument to be the number 1 team in the nation over IU, looking at the resume perspective.
That's true, and a quick overview is you have 5 players averaging in the double digits consistently. You have 4 of those 5 players averaging 2 or more assists a game, which goes to show you that they are passing the ball, they are playing unselfish, and from what we've seen, they're playing more inside and outside as opposed to just shooting the 3 ball. Plumlee is having a career season. To be honest, he's shining more than many other bigs in any other program.
Right now, we came into the season, Cody Zoller from IU was supposed to be the player of the year, which he still has a great chance to get it. But right now, if they was going to vote right now on the Naismith Player of the Year, Mr. Mason Plumlee by far. There's no question. He's averaging double figures every night.
What is it? He left at about 240, came back at 260. I mean, this kid is literally put in the work, and it's showing. He's not, this is just literally hard work. It's a testament to his hard work. And to be honest, Duke is a very impressive team right now. Their guard play is
on both ends of the ball. Not just offense, both sides of the ball. Yes, sir.
Okay. With that being said, we know Duke is the real deal. Name 1 surprise team.
A couple surprise teams just off the top of my head. Can we say Illinois? Can we go ahead and say Illinois?
Yeah, undefeated.
I didn't know too much about them. We got a new coach by Mr. John Gross, which I'm not too familiar about his background, where he came from, this and that. And I watched them Thanksgiving weekend, and I think the NIT tournament, I want to say, and it was just something about this team that was just like, who is this? Like, this is a team. I mean, no, not to bash Mr. Bruce Weber, but you had this program going to the ground. Like, We haven't seen a tournament, which I don't know how many years, nothing was getting done, and then he comes in first year and just looks very impressive. There's something about him, just very shocker. And I would say, off the top 25, they are the most surprising team.
One thing is for certain, I do gotta agree. Illinois, you actually called attention to it. I did not pay them much attention, but one thing is for certain, we definitely said this was going to be an exciting college season, and it has yet to disappoint. And we'll be right back with more MSU Sports Circle.
All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. I'm Tony Hobbs, host of MSPR's new show, Good Vibes. Each week, I'll be sifting through hours of material to bring you the best in adult alternative music. You can expect to hear from bands such as Coldplay, Mumford & Sons, The Kicks, and much more. Good Vibes, Mondays from 7 to 10 p.m. on Morehead State Public Radio.
NBA basketball. The NBA where arguably the best basketball players in the world all come to play. One story in particular, in one of the most prestigious basketball clubs in National Basketball Association, the San Antonio Spurs. Was Coach Stern right, or was Commissioner Stern rather, in the wrong for sanctioning Coach Pop and the San Antonio Spurs? If you do not know, Coach Pop benched his big three and Danny Green on the fourth trip on a 5-day road, and Commissioner Stern seemed to have an issue with it. Is he in the right or is he in the wrong?
I think he's. I don't know what to say. Why did he do this? Why was it needed to fine him for that? I thought the organization, they can do whatever they want to do. If they feel they need to keep these players out because whatever reason, I thought that was their business. Why should David Stern come in and be like, you know what, these guys should have played and, you know, I'm fining you. I get what you're saying. The players come to see these guys, which they was the main guys that wasn't playing. But you know my argument with that, this is what I'd be like. It was not a home game. If that was a home game, I understand completely. But it was on the road. Let's be honest. How many big Spurs fans are going all the way to Miami? If it was a home game, I can understand a fine. But being an away game, I disagree with that. It's majority Miami fans, so what does it matter if the main guys are not playing? They're the opposing team.
Well, this situation kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because it sets the example to the players that it's okay to just disregard what a coach has to say, and it kind of shows a lack of respect there. And you have a lot of these players who are, you know, getting coaches fired and coming up with these crazy contract stipulations and things like that. In this situation right here, like you said, it wasn't in a home game, it was an away game, and if the coach felt it was right to bench him, obviously he had some justification. He's not a coach for no reason, and it just sets a bad example for these players. A lot like with the situation with Dwight Howard, how he handled his situation. By the commissioner firing him over one situation like that, it makes it seem like it's okay for these players to just have these outrageous demands.
One thing, I hate to play devil's advocate, I do, but I took the time to look at both sides of the fence. Where a lot of people have an issue is they say, Greg Pop has an obligation to his fans. Now on the other fence, whose fans do you have an obligation to cater to? Let's just be honest, the majority of the people in Miami were there to see LeBron James. They were not there to see Tim Duncan. More importantly, Greg Pop is the type of coach that has the experience and knowledge to do what's best for his players. Now if you want to take even last season into account, in the postseason, best record in the NBA, Tony Parker arguably got slandered for the MVP, but what happened? They're blowing through teams and blowing through teams and blowing through teams, and they hit a wall. They ran out of gas when they went up against who? Say that name?
Thunder.
The Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Why? Youth. They spent all their energy destroying teams, dismantling teams. When you run into a team that has youth, they have energy for days. They'll play a game, turn right around and play another game the next night and be just as explosive. He's looking at this where I'm going to rest my core who is past their prime, respectively, in their late 30s, beginning, middle, end of season. You know why? Because I have faith that a healthy San Antonio Spurs team is indeed the best team in the NBA. And to him, you can't argue that. Especially, you're resting your core players when arguably your star in Tim Duncan is playing roughly 22 minutes a game. I don't see the issue here. I feel like more than one coaches do this. It's a very common practice in the NBA. But I do see where you're saying he has an obligation to entertain. But more importantly, I respect Coach Pop for this. I feel like he took a stand. He said, I understand I'm here to uphold the laws of the NBA and the obligation to the fan, but my obligation is as a coach and as a person, and it's to these men, their careers, and their longevity, and that is what I'm doing. I made a call. I feel like it's right. They respect me for it. I feel like Stern handled it completely wrong. Are we going to see, Matt, just yes or no, are we going to see programs not practice this anymore? Are we not going to sit our cores anymore for fear of getting sanctioned? Or is this Stern's on his way out the door, blah, 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 blah? Will this continue?
I say yes. It will continue.
Well, one thing is for certain, it definitely lit a fire under a lot of people's under seats. When we return, we will be having our MSU Weekly Recap.
For students pursuing a career in the medical health field, come check out the new MSU Share Building. The Share Building is located right below St. Clair Hospital on Fleming Avenue. This building will offer students the chance to further their understanding of medical health and prepare them for a future with state-of-the-art hands-on classes.
Claypool Young Art Gallery, located in the center of campus, offers a wide variety of art pieces from various contemporary artists in America. Exhibitions rotate approximately once a month and also hosts art pieces created by Morehead State University students, allowing art majors to experience the learning process of showcasing their art. Claypool Young Art Gallery. Come on over today and be inspired by aspiring MSU artists.
Let's bring it back home. This MSU Weekly Recap. MSU basketball. I'm going to throw a question out there and y'all can answer. Am I seeing a brand new Eagles team, meaning the mentality, the play, the positions? I feel like everything's new. Am I wrong? Am I seeing things? What exactly is going on?
I'm going to have to agree with you there. The guys, their intensity on the court, you can just see that there's so much intensity. Coach Woods is bringing that with this high momentum team, bringing this intensity to the team. Senior Milton Chavis, he's really stepped it up. You know, last year he was kind of limited. He really didn't handle the ball much, and his ball handling skills are so much better this year. Against UK, he had 23 points, and then against Norfolk State, he had 19 points. This is a senior that's out there that's on a mission. He knows that this is his last season here at MSU, and he wants to do something. I don't think he's limiting himself as a player, and he looks phenomenal out on the court.
Coach Wood said it best when he was on the show a couple episodes back. He is the most improved player on this team. Like you said, 23 against UK. He's averaging 15 for the season. This man looks like he's on a mission, and I look for him to be on the first team all OVC this year. Very impressed.
Now, one thing is for certain, and a lot of people are going to get upset out there, but we are at Morehead, so recognize. Let's talk about the UK game. That, I feel, was an introduction to maybe the future of Morehead State basketball. Not even, respectively, during the Kenneth Reed, DeMonte Harper era, did we put up that type of fight against a Coach Cal University of Kentucky team. At one point in time, we had a 14-point lead on them. And to had them on their heels the entire game until the end where Archie Goodwin took over. But even then, that was quite a game.
When you have the fast-paced style like Coach Woods, you're going to compete against any power school and the business. I don't care. And then with the athletes we have, it goes to show you what a change can do with the style of play that Coach Woods has brought to this program this year.
I mean, I'd have to agree. They were only down by 1 at the half, and through the most of the game, it looked like what was going to be the upset of the year. But what got the guys in trouble is, I'm not saying that being aggressive is a bad thing. They had 32 personal fouls. You can't do that. And I think that's kind of where we got hurt was, those fouls right there. We got in a lot of foul trouble later in the game, and I think it kind of limited us because we were just letting UK get those free points, kept sending them to the free throw line.
I got to disagree. That's where UK lacked. That game was, I thought I saw 27 Shaquille O'Neals out there shooting free throws. And to me, that's a testament to toughness. Come in that paint, get put on your back. You try to run through me, you better kill me. That's the type of mentality I'm loving. I love watching this as a new Moorhead team. When you get in a team's head and you let them know that you will not bully me, you will not even play basketball against me. I'm here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is hoop. You get in, it changes the whole pace of the game. UK had numerous opportunities to take the lead back if you factor in free throws, but they couldn't do it. Why? Because mentally they were shook. Is this a practice we're going to see Moorhead from here on out practice? Is this toughness here to stay?
It's here to stay. The record does not indicate how good this team is. We're only sitting at 4-4 for the season, but what I have seen so far is I'd say I'm very impressed. And the tough non-conference schedule we have is really going to have us prepared for when we get into OVC play. And that goes to show with this undefeated record sitting at 3-0 right now.
Yes or no? Quickly, you two. Will Moorhead State win the OVC?
Even though I'm very impressed and I love what Coach Lewis has done, I'm going to say no.
No.
Not this year.
Not this year. No, I would have to say no as well.
Well, MSU, my name is Justin Neely. I'm going to disagree with both my colleagues up here. I have complete faith in the MSU Eagles, and we will win the OVC championship. Keep it locked, and we'll be right back.
For students living both on and off campus, come check out the new POD store, located in Alumni Tower. POD store is a great way for students on campus to go grocery shopping without leaving campus, or for students looking for a place to spend flex dollars on drinks, snacks, and supplies. Remember, if you're by Alumni Tower, visit the POD store to the right of the catwalk for products on demand when you want them.
Moorhead State University's new state-of-the-art Recreation and Wellness Center offers you the opportunity to get in shape. Come enjoy our track overlooking the basketball courts, or take our bikes, ellipticals, treadmills, Stairmasters, and other cardio machines for a spin to help you break a sweat. And once you've worked up and breathing, pump some iron down in our weight room. Come visit MSU's new Recreation Wellness Center, open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays today.
Now, while on the subject of MSU sports, we discussed the men. It's only right we talk about our Lady Eagles. Matt, can you give us an overview of their season so far?
Well, right now, I think we are missing this dynamic backcourt senior leadership last year with Linda Dixon and Courtney Lumpkin, because I have not seen a leader yet that is willing to unite this team together to come as one. It's just, I don't know what it is, and right now, I don't know if it will be fixed. I know Coach Hodges has to be very frustrated. You're sitting at 1-6. 1-6. I mean, that is just, and then on top of that, I was just looking through their schedule, and majority of the games have just been blowouts. It's like, it didn't even like we had a chance to win.
This team is a young team, like you did say, but this team is very strong defensively. They had 63 rebounds against UK. They're averaging 42.6 rebounds a game, but they're also having 20 turnovers. You got to cut down the turnovers a little bit, and you got to be able to expand on your areas that you're good. This is obviously a good defensive team. We just need to somewhere get the offense to kick in. So I think, like you said, someone needs to step up on this team. There's juniors on this team, and yes, there are a lot of young, new players, but somebody who's been on the team and knows this coaching style needs to step up and bring this team together. Like you said, it is still early in the season. They haven't started conference play, and sometimes, it really doesn't matter until it gets to conference play. If that's when you want to step it up, that's when it matters.
I take consideration we haven't played that many home games yet. We have a big one tomorrow with Western Kentucky, which all the students should come out and support them. We got to get something going. Like 1-6, it's not going to get it going in the OVC play.
Well, one thing is for certain, defensively, I feel that we have high-level defense, which Coach Hodges, he always preaches defense. My issue is on the offensive end. Matt, do we have a go-to scorer? I feel like that's kind of what we're lacking. We don't have a go-to scorer. Is there a way to correct that?
It's either you have it, you don't have it, in my opinion. You have a player that you can go to that can get you points, or you try to come together as a unit, which they're not even doing that. So I don't know what to tell them. I feel like once you played a good 5 games, and that really can tell you where you really stand. And they've played more than 5, and I feel it's now based on we're just frustrated. We're starting to shut down. Maybe we're not good. and it shows on the court. Mentally, they might just be frustrated and they can't get the job done at this point.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've had conversations with some of the Lady Eagles, and their heads are not hung low. They are very optimistic. They are fired up. One thing, personally, I feel that is getting at them is the experience factor. But that is something that cannot be changed. The only thing to correct a lack of experience is experience. So they're just going to have to go through the season. The players seem extremely optimistic, and come out tomorrow, watch them play. I have all the utmost faith in our Lady Eagles. That's all we have time for at MSU Sports Circle. It's been a great season. We want to thank all of you for watching.
Who are you?
Need a ride?
Need a ride? Next time, call the MSU van, 783-8747. We're happy to help.